Hi there, and hope you are having a good start to 2025, no matter, I guess, what time it is or where you are at. Today is going to be kind of a hodgepodge of things. I figure that's pretty much how I run my life, so what a good way to start the year, right? We are first going to cover completed pages, then I have a couple of tags, year-long tags that I want to talk about that I need to officially post on Instagram as well. And then we're going to talk about my planner choice for 2025, how I'm combining like my coloring, hobby stuff, and like my life stuff in the one planner. I'm going to show you guys what I did with it. Show you all what I did with it, and talk about some of my coloring goals for the year and for January. So kind of a mix. I just didn't want to do these in all separate videos because I'm just kind of lazy. I will have jump tags in the video as usual, so feel free to watch what you're interested in, skip what you're not, and as always, I appreciate you here as we continue on into another year that hopefully will be at least a little more colorful than 2024 was for me. I say that, but it really wasn't that bad of a year, so coloring wise. But anyway, at least at the end, it was pretty rough. All right, completed pages and WIPs to complete, hopefully in January. So these are from November and December. I started to color a little bit in November, kind of fell off the wayside, didn't pick up coloring anything else until like the last week or two of the month. So I have like 5 pages to show you. And then it'll be WIPs and buddy colors I haven't yet got to. So Simple Fall by Alexandra Franzese. I did start coloring in this book after finishing Simple Halloween in October. And at the start of November, I kind of took on a little bit more of a muted color palette, if you will. I know this still looks bright. I made this look like cherries. I know it was pumpkin pie. My cherries don't look very good, but I just made an attempt. But I did. I kind of adopted this fall kind of muted color palette for quite a few of these pictures. And I don't know. It was just a vibe. A lot of you like this a lot on Instagram. And I like this one a lot. I used, again, kind of a more neutral palette on this, and it was just, like I said, it was kind of a vibe for the month. So I got 4 done in here, and then coloring just kind of fell off for me. Through to the very end of December, when I managed to get a couple colored. We have Christmas portraits, which I just posted a color and chat on this one, kind of getting you guys up to speed. I should start saying you all. Starts getting you all up to speed on just my life, why I kind of took a break, health issues, the cats, everything like that. I'm coloring and chatting in real time instead of a voiceover, so it is a little bit rambly, but if you want a long rambly video where you are distracted by your own stuff for like an hour and a half, then I'll put that in the top right and you can go check that out. But I colored out of Christmas Portraits by Alexandra Franzese, and we did this picture. This was marker with a little bit of Jelly Roll gold and silver gel pen, and then a little snowflake stencil on the background, and then some little white highlights. Just wanted to keep it simple. That was the first real page I colored, other than the one I'm fixing to show you, in probably a month and a half. So how many did I have in the other one? 4. So that's 5. And then there's this one. So, and this will kind of be a mini flip through of this, I guess. I had alluded to in my previous flip flip through video that Joshua Dunbar was coming out with a embiggened, embiggened, a bigger version of his Christmas Cuties book, which I'm trying to find. This is what the little pocket-sized one looks like, which I do love his imagery. The only thing is I like using pretty big markers, and so like I love this, and I'm probably going to recreate this in a way or do something different, but like this page, it almost felt too small to do much on these images. So I'm really happy he came out with a full-size version. Hopefully he does that with maybe some of his others, maybe, hopefully, if people are interested in that. I decided to pick a page I hadn't colored yet in this, and I did this one, which turned out absolutely adorable. I ended up using marker, alcohol marker, and then pastel pencils. Not pastel colors, but like pastel in the pencil, not just a regular colored pencil. I find those are really good for easy, quick shading. I just wish they had more colors, but I make do with what I have. Like I didn't have a dark green dark enough for this, so I just use like a black for shading. But it allows me to just get a little shading around the edges just to create kind of the shaded effect that I want. I'm saying shading a lot. On the lights, I tried a couple different things. I used some acrylic paint pens on the outside to give kind of a glow effect. Then I used white gel pen. It was an effect I saw on TikTok that I think turned out okay. I don't know if I necessarily like the white dots, but then I used just a little bit of clear glossy accent on those. At least it didn't bleed all over the paper like my last attempt, and then a little bit of a sparkly angel at the top. And then I added some, using Bleed Proof White by P.H. Martin, I added in these little details on the quilt, which I thought turned out really well. It's probably my favorite part of this picture. Little dots on his hat, and then I kind of jazzed up his shoes a bit. So I had colored this with just marker on Christmas Eve, and I kept sitting with it, and I was like, I really wanted to do something else to it. And yesterday I just said, all right, pastel pencils and bleed proof white, let's see what I can do with that. And honestly, it turned out really good, so super pleased about that. That was basically my coloring for November and December. What, six pictures. I will come up, so I will probably do a favorites of 2024 video in January. It's not going to be right now. And there I'm probably going to give some final stats on like how many books I completed, how many pages I completed, things like that. I wish I had thought to have those today, but I do not. And we've got plenty of other things to go through, so I am going to take the unprecedented step of saying we'll get to that. My year in review doesn't have to come before my 2025 stuff, so it is okay. Oh, so Christmas Cuties, by the way. So if you have the pocket size book, this is all it is the pocket size images brought to full size, which isn't such an impact on pages like that, but on, where'd it go? Pages like that, I much prefer the bigger version because I can really get in there with details. So it's the same images, just larger versions. So which I think for some of us, depending on vision issues, on whether or not we don't want anything super complicated to color, sometimes these bigger large print type coloring books are cool to have too. So all right, so there's Completed Pages WIPs. This one's still left over from October. My plan is to add colored pencil. I would like to add colored pencil to this image. This is at a Halloween Party by Deborah Muller. Worst case, if I cannot do that, I will come in with darker markers and like outline stuff. So we'll see. But we're going to do something with this. I don't want this to just sit and wait. But I don't want to call it done either. I have 3 buddy colors I did not get to for for November and December. Happy Catastrophe, we were doing a page out of Moonlight Mischief, which is this page. Pretty sure she has done hers, but I have not. I need to message her because I just kind of fell off the radar. I'm hoping I can get that done in January. Hot Witch Summer was our monthly color in November for Tammy and I. We both needed December and I still didn't get it done. So there is the December image, a very inverse to what we typically think of for like winter type pictures. I just like the ghost in the swimming pool. And then our quarterly one, which I haven't even started on, out of Cat Coloring Therapy 2. This is also with Tammy Colors 2. My plans for this is a watercolor base, and past that point, I don't know what to tell you yet. I just need to get the watercolor base down. I was thinking like maybe some stencils up here of like just some little leaves, or maybe I just do shading. I really don't know. I need to get on the ball with tackling this. So already have stuff to work on, but yet we are going to add even more stuff to that. Alright, so we've done completed pages. We have, oh, I still actually have another WIP that I need to finish in pencil, and that is out of hairballs. I've done that in watercolor pencils. I think these super colors. BMO, what are you doing? Why are you in my stuff? I just need to put the pencils over it. And I thought some of these, ooh, I missed the very edge of this with the blue. I just realized that. We may just call that good enough. I don't know. But I do need to finish that as well. Alright. So, we have 2 hashtags that I think are going to be year-long hashtags. So I do typically have others through the year. We'll have Foxy February in February, Watercolor Summer during the summer, Cattober in October, and I think right now those are the only 3 I do during the year. I have ideas for like September and December, and also another one for February, but we'll see. I think the tag I'm going to come up with kind of encompasses that, and so we'll talk about that in a minute. Alright. So, hashtags for the year. I have 2. Hopefully it'll come up on the screen here. The first one, so I like books. I do like some books by some publishing companies. So when I say publishing companies, I mean like Jade Summer, Coco Wyo, Cider Mill Press, Coloring Heaven, Creative Haven, anything that is not an independent artist. So an artist is publishing under another name. I mean, their name might be on the book somewhere, which I'll show you in a minute, but they're not really necessarily an independent artist under that particular publisher. Now, I like a lot of books like that, don't get me wrong, but there are some publishers, not going to name names, but if you've been following like recent trademark issues, one company in particular was trying to trademark a lot of phrases that coloring books use that are basic phrases, and it was very controversial and kind of a dick move in my opinion. I've also had some artists who I also consider kind of friends or acquaintances tell me about rough times they've had working under publishers under contract. And so what I would like, my biggest focus for 2025 is I'm not checking out all my publisher books, because like I said, not all publishing companies are bad, but with the rise in publishing companies, with the rise in AI generated art, I feel like we need to continue supporting independent artists that hand draw their art. And when I say hand draw, I mean either on a digital tablet or, you know, pencil to paper. I just mean they're not generated AI images. I think we should continue to support independent artists. And one of the big things I want to do this year is set a goal for reviews in Amazon. So for a lot of independent artists, if you want to support them, the best way to do is leave an Amazon review on a book you like of theirs, because there's so many other books. A lot of times theirs get crowded out of the algorithm unless they have, you know, a lot of reviews or good reviews. So one of my goals for the year as a whole for like coloring and hobby stuff is to leave more reviews for my favorite artists to help support them. That's like a free way to do it. You don't have to type anything super complicated. I usually just leave 1 or 2 sentences about why I like the images, and most of the time I try to put a page I colored in there. Not a blank page, but a page I colored in there just to kind of show an example of the art, just in case it's not available otherwise. So this is the year I really want to support the people that I love that do independent art, because I just think things are going to get harder and harder for them to do so, and to be able to make money doing what they love. I know like Alexandra Franzese is very active on TikTok, and there's a very good chance TikTok's going away. So some sources of social media they may not have access to this year and stuff. So like I said, I feel like it's more important than ever that we support them. So my first hashtag of the year, and I'll hopefully put it up here again, is this one. I wrote it down. Now I've already forgotten it. Man, I am not on board this year. Hashtag Fave Coloring Book Artist 2025. I know it's a long one, but I wanted to create one that we could use the whole year, that we could put any independent artist that we like under. And honestly, I don't trust myself to, I would feature one a month, but I don't trust myself to have the energy to change that every month and advertise that on Instagram. And this way is provide some flexibility. So if you don't feel like coloring what would have been the featured artist one month, and I'll probably still feature artists, but if you still don't feel like just coloring them and you want to color another artist, then that's cool too. So it kind of gives some flexibility. It's a nice year-long tag. We don't have to change it up or do anything for the year. I know there's a ton of other tags out there already. If you do want to use this, I do appreciate it. This is the only thing I ask though. So for this tag, it is supposed to be supporting independent artists, so independent coloring book artists. So what I'm asking, if you're like, what's an independent artist? Let me show you. We've got Lulu Mayo. Now, some of these artists may have their art featured in like a Coloring Heaven magazine, or a Creative Haven book, or a compilation book, or a mythographic, like Atanasio, I can't think of her first name. She published a bunch of her own books before she took on mythographic. So like if it's a book she published independently, you can use that. Just don't use one of the ones under mythographic, if that makes any sense. So Lulu Mayo. If it doesn't have like another name on it, like Lulu Mayo, and then underneath it would say, you know, mythographic or Cider Mill Press or Coloring Heaven at the top, then we're good. The Spooky Coloring Book by Sarah Swizik. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Sugar Sweet is a good one. If they publish their own books on Amazon and they publish them under their name, then that's a pretty good sign. Hannah Lynn. I've mentioned Alexandra Franzese, Joshua Dunbar. They do have books under Jade Summer, which is considered a publisher. I would ask that you not use those books, just use the books that they've published themselves. Nicolette Delafray, Rita Berman, This is one by Fabiana Attanasio that she published herself but is not under the mythographic tag, so we are good there. Camellia Angelkova, Joanna Basford, Deborah Muller, Linka Filadenko, Usiku, Maria Trolle, Hanna Karlzon. Y'all get the idea. Jen Racine, RJ Hampson. There are tons and tons and tons of options here. Like I said, the only thing I ask on this is that if you are referencing an artist, you reference a book that they self-publish themselves. Let's just say it like that. So examples of what not to do. So, no. You know, ones I would rather you not put under this tag. Any mythographic type book, color books, even if the artist name is featured on here, it's still not an independent published book. It's still under a publisher. Coloring Heaven. So if Elizabeth Alba had her own self-published book, that would be fine. Just don't use this book. Creative Haven. And this was a hard one because I love like Teresa Goodridge and Marjorie Sarnett and all them. I love those artists. I really do. And if they do have their own books, sometimes they do publish their own books. That's fine. Just don't use any of the Creative Haven books. Coco Wyo, I've mentioned. Jade Summer. Again, this is an example where the illustration, the artist name is there, but because they're under a publisher, I would rather them not be featured in the tag. So it is not that there's anything wrong with having a publisher. So I don't want anybody to get all riled up about this. I am not saying publishers bad. Some publishers bad. But for this tag, publishers not bad. It's just publishing under that publisher name gives them some notoriety, gives them a little bit of a push out on the market. If they're publishing under their own name, like I started saying Anne Hatfield because she colored this book, but Deborah Muller or Camellia Angelkova or Alexandra Franzese or Joshua Dunbar, if they're publishing under their own name, then they're, you know, taking a chance. They're out there on their own, not having a publisher or a contract with a publisher to kind of help push their books out to like a collection or a group of people that are familiar with that. So these are the people I think that need our love the most. And I also ask that you please include artists that hand draw their art and that they're not Gen AI or AI generated. Now, am I going to come to your door and like whack you with a newspaper and spray you with a water bottle if you put one of these, something that's shouldn't be in there? No, not really. But like at the end of the day, we're all grown people, and you know, I feel like it's a fairly simple request. And if you have a question, like ask, or if you I mean, I'll make a comment. If you have a question, you're like, I'm not sure if this belongs, I can let you know. No problem there. Just tag me and ask me. But like I said, am I gonna like come spray you with a water bottle if you don't do that? No, because I can't police them. I'm not gonna police them like that, and ain't nobody got time for that. I'm just saying we're all grown folk. I feel like this is a pretty good lesson in what's not independent and what's independent. This is to highlight independent artists and bring something positive to them. It's not meant to be something negative. So that is what I'll say about that one. And then my other one, I want to do this book. Not this year. This book has like 51 or 52 pages. I was like, yeah, we're going to do this book in a year. And then I counted them. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. So my goal is to hopefully have this done by the end of 2026. But we're going to have a 2025 tag and a 2026 tag. I'm going to look, though. There might be somebody else that's already has this one. And if so, I will note it in the description below. But if not, we're going to do this for 2025. I'm going to pick an image. So if we're doing that, essentially we'll have to do 2 pictures a month. And then there might be a month or two we have to do 3 pictures. So the only thing about these is there's not a huge semblance of order in them. I kind of wish they'd been in order of the year, but like, I guess if you're celebrating like Chinese New Year, that one might be at a different point of something else. But like, this is one we'll be coloring this month. So I'm going to try to stick to the seasons or the holidays. And I'm going to try to do just, let's start with 2 a month, right? Like, let's not go nuts here, because this is a pretty big ask, and I will probably be primarily using markers in these. Occasionally I will probably use something else. Like here, I would really like to put some pencil shading in that one because I think this is super cool for Easter. But I will post the pictures. Like I said, I'll try to keep as close to the seasons or the holidays as I can. We will tackle half this book this year. Oops, I think there's another one. That could be another New Year's one. So we'll try to tackle, I'll post these on Instagram and on the community page here. So there's a couple right there that we're probably going to use. So yeah, 2-year-long tags this year. That is more than I usually keep up with. However, like I said, they're not changing month to month. There may be months where I post pictures that I don't actually get to color, but that's okay. And at any point, you can join in this and play catch up later if you like. All right. And like I said, the tag's just going to be the same for the year. I know me, and my word for 2025 is just, I think my big word's going to be vibes, and it's just going to be embracing how I feel and the energy levels I have now, and trying to make things as simple as possible while still accomplishing things. So no huge change up of tags. Like I said, we'll have a couple coloring tags this year like I normally do, and then these 2, and then that's going to be it for me. Now on to the planner. I'm going to talk about my planner briefly. So last year I tried to plan, and I carried on till about April or May. I was trying to keep up with 2 planners, and I had used, let me go grab it, from Hubman and Chub Girl. I love their stickers. I'd used a combination of planners. I used their Vertical Weeks layout for the start of the year, and I made pretty good progress till about halfway through April, and then you see the drop off. And this worked well with the stickers. I didn't like that the weeks and the months were separate. I did really good on this, really, for a couple months. This was all work and photos and like record, like memory keeping. And then I kept all my coloring stuff in here. No, it might be a different one. It's that one. Hang on. Let me go grab it without yanking my headphones off. And so my coloring and hobby stuff I kept separate. I tried to do this where I would track what hobbies I would do in the month. If I had buddy colors, new books and supplies, and hashtags. You can see January I didn't do too well. Completed pages, stats, and then 2024 goals. I actually was doing pretty good there. I actually kind of like some of those goals. We might think about those. Again, carried on with these pretty good for a few months, and then just fell by the wayside. It just became A, a pain in the ass to keep up with 2 planners. B, because this is bound and I was using so many stickers. This is supposed to be a year-long planner, and you can see even after like 1/4 how unwieldy it was getting. Plus, I didn't like the fact, as I use an HP Sprocket printer for my photos, and as I know these aren't supposed to be like long-lasting type photos, I really hated the fact that I had photos in a book that is going to be a pain to tear out and keep if I want to just keep those photos. So and all that. I kept searching for a planner that I could just kind of combine everything in, that I could use my stickers in, that could be customizable. And what I settled on was the plum paper. And I know I'm a touch late. I should have done this in like August or September, but we're here. So I get the weekly planner, and it's cute. This is the A5 size, I think 5x7. Highly, highly recommend. If you can't write teeny tiny, or if you like using the Hubman and Chub Girl stickers and washi tape, I highly recommend you go to the 7x9 planner. That is what I'll be using next year. I got this and I was like, ah, crap. But I'm not buying another planner and letting this sit unused. We are going to make it work. And with some modifications, I can make the stickers work. It's just going to be a little tight for writing and other things. So just to show you a month example, we have January here. This is kind of the dashboard. I have a running to-do list for the month. I don't have any goals set yet for the month. I've got a 1 line a day journal just to kind of talk about, like, I guess what's good or bad about the day. Here is my month. So I'm using, if there's a full-size washi tape on the top, and then if there's like a thin secondary washi tape for that theme, I'm using that underneath, but you won't see that here because there's 2 thick ones. This is the Magic Castle set that they have. And a lot of their sets you can get personalized to months. So I don't wait for their subscriptions to come out. A lot of the stuff I purchased last year, like this washi tape, I still have a ton of. So what I'm doing is just what stickers I use up, I'm just rebuying for the next year. It could be the same month, it could be a different month, so that I could use up everything that I have, basically. So I don't think I went with a new set this year because of that, which sucks because I do like their new sets, but I'm also trying to be mindful of what I buy. So yeah, here's the month at a glance. Then we have the weeks. I have just barely started on this week. I might zoom to the end and show you what a regular week looks like, but these are vertical. Is that right? Vertical. I can't remember what it's called. But I have work and then just 2 life sections, because particularly with the cats right now and their medicine, I need to document a lot of when they take certain medicines. They're like every other day, they're every 2 or 3 days. And so like this section down here will probably be heavily cat related. I probably won't use many photos on here. I'll use my stickers, which let me show you the types I have for the month. So the Magic Castle set. There's 2 types that you can get. There's a journal planner set that is like big like this, that has long stickers and boxes to use. These are too long for the sections in this 5x7, so I would have to trim to make these work. I would not recommend getting the journal planner kit. However, these the little sets that you can get that are just planner sets with the shorter sticker sets, I would, these will fit just fine. So I've used washi tape, month stickers, day stickers. Like I said, I'll put a thinner washi tape behind here if I have it. I did change this up and put the dates down here. I might record the weather. I might do things like that. I'm going to probably use a lot of check boxes. There'll be a lot of random stickers like this during the week because I have all these to use up. I still have a set of dates too, which is pretty cool. I can save those for next year. I have like weekly trackers I can use. I have some monthly ones. These, the only thing about their sticker sets is they don't always have the same stickers available each month. Like some of them have the monthly trackers and weeklies and some of them don't. It's one of the downsides, but really they're the only consistent sticker company that I like. So, but yeah, so I'll show you what a week what this week looks like all fleshed out once I get done here at the end of the video. But we're here to talk about coloring stuff and other ideas. So we have our weeks. Now, the cool thing about the plum paper is that they had a section where it's like, and I know it says journal, but I'm changing that. I was trying to shift things around. You have the option to add bullet pages to the end of your month. And that's what I really wanted. I wanted something where I could have some bullet pages to do like my coloring stuff, my photo memory keeping type stuff, to add to like the monthly and weekly planner. I kind of just wanted it all smushed together, and that's what I got because I was able to add, and I can't remember, you can add like 1, 2, I think I added 3 or 4 at the end of every month. And you can add, like, they have all kinds of different amounts you can add. So this section's like my hobby section, and so each day I will color in like what I did that day. Like today I will have a video. Where are my markers I used for this? Like, we're gonna have a video today, and I'm hoping this will encourage me to do a bigger variety of hobbies during the month and not just sit on the couch and disassociate from life. Hashtags and buddy colors, that is one thing I want to do more of this year. Of course, we have our 2 hashtags, which are going to be fave coloring book artists 2025, and then Halloween all year long 2025. I also have those buddy colors, so Hot Witch Summer, Tammy, Cat Coloring 2. Now this is what I was talking about. I write so big and so like lopsided and jacked up that I really need the bigger I before E except after C. Happy catastrophe. So I have 3 buddy colors to catch up on. And then down here is just stats. I haven't really decided. That's probably just going to be number of color by number pages, non-color by number pages, what supplies I used for the month. I did like doing that one year. Just stats for the month. I only set up my January and February like this because I want to see if I like this format, and if I don't, then I'm going to change it. So this is actually going to be gratitude. Okay. So then I will have completed pages over here. You can see that those markers do bleed through a little bit, but I'm not too worried about that. I will be using primarily pen on this, and some stickers and stuff. I'm not too worried about bleed through. There'll only be a couple places where I'm using those little dot markers. Doodles. One thing I got for Christmas was a Cat Things to Draw book by Lulu Mayo. I also have like a cat doodles book. I thought it would be fun if I just did a few doodles a month in here. We'll see. It's a nice to have, but if I don't have it, it's no big deal. All right, photos. So my Sprocket printer, those little photos that you saw that were in my books, like primarily the cat ones, any completed pages, things like that. I am putting those on these 2 pages, and like little notes maybe if I have room. And then this side, I don't know what I'm doing with. I may just leave it blank for now, but my plan is whatever I put here and here can be sacrificed, because at the end of the year, what I can do is tear out these 2 pages and then put them in like a little report book with like the clear pages or whatever. So I can kind of keep my memories in a separate book for a year, but I can track them here. I really like that I can do that, and so we're going to try that the first few months. And then February looks very similar. I'm using dinosaurs for February. They have a new dino set, but I'm using the old washi tape because that's what I have. And you can see here I actually put the dates further down here. So that's cool. One other thing. So you have that. You can add as many bullet journal pages to the end of your months as you want. This layout is completely customizable. You can have it horizontal. You can change these categories. You can put lines in here. You can add time in here. You can do like, that is the one thing about this. This might be the most customizable planner I think I've seen in all the ones I've looked at. And I love the fact it's ream bound because of those pages that I can remove. I know some people don't like the coils, but I think these will be helpful if I'm using a lot of stickers. One other thing, oh yeah, and let me show you, like, November is not fully done. I'm gonna try to go ahead and do the rest of the year, but like, I had the November stickers and it took me forever to get the start of the year stickers. So like, that's what November looks like. This is what December looks like. I have mushrooms. So you can make them work. You just, some of them, like here, this Wednesday doesn't quite cover the Wednesday, but whatever. I'm not going to be fussed about that. You can have a notes section, which I've put in here with a number of lined pages, and we're going to talk about this next. And then a tracker. And I kind of wish these trackers were at the end of each month, but I understand why they're together. You can track your habits. You can track your moods if you like. So each month I'm going to have hang on a second, trying to figure this out. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. All right, so here I have 2 habit trackers I can do for the month, and I have 5 habits I can track for the month. Then I also have numbers where I can track the mood for the month, which gets a little confusing, but I like that. And I'm going to be using that. So you get about 5 habits a month you can track that you can color in, and then a separate one where you can track moods. So what I think I'm going to do is track my moods on here. I'm going to have to use crayon or test some water-based markers because of that bleed through back here, which I did not think of until just now. And then there's a calendar here for the very beginning of the year that I might just track how the day's going. Like, I might track moods, but I might just use this to track whether it's a good day, a bad day, or an okay day. Like, just do red, yellow, green right here. And that would be kind of a good way to do the pixels, but they're broken up a little bit, but I don't need all these. Like, the day and the mood's probably enough. If there's something I need to note, I can note in the journal itself. So that's kind of the planner as a whole. If you're looking for something to combine like your day-to-day stuff and your hobby stuff, I think this is a good choice. So that's kind of the planner review. Now finally we get to my coloring kind of goals for the year. Where are my notes? I don't have them specific for the month yet because I've been thinking. This is just me kind of brainstorming. So I have the Halloween all year long and the favorite coloring book artists. Amazon reviews, I'm trying to think. I want to do so many a month, but I'm thinking whether I do, let's start out with 3 a month and see how that goes. Hi, chicken, canned chicken, chunky chicken. That's BMO. 6 books to complete for the year. I completed 5 last year. I should have completed 6, but I kind of ran out of juice on the last one, so we're just going to put 6 more live streams. I would like to have a monthly live stream at least where I'm just coloring and chatting, but I'm going to have to pick something like a color by number, something really simple to follow. I would like to do more of those, be more social, more buddy colors. I put minis each month. Like, I was thinking those miniature books. I would like to do 1 book each month, like color a page in it, because that's one I have so many of. But I think this will just tie into the artist one, because I kind of want to do like a Camellia Angel Cova. If I do a Camellia Angel Cova page a month, an Alexandra Franzese, a Joshua Dunbar, and the Deborah Muller, that's going to be 4 pages a month I'm already doing. And the other ones are going to have to kind of just weed in, like Hannah Lynn, RJ Hampson, because I know 4 to 5 pictures doesn't seem like a lot in a month, but for me right now, I don't want to set myself up for failure. So if I sit there and say I'm going to color this many pages this month, I'm having a battle with, I don't know if it's pre-menopause stuff or what, but if I set a goal and I say I'm going to do this and I tell my body you have to do this, my body goes, screw you. I'm just going to sit here and dissociate and take a nap. And I get viscerally angry if like I try to force myself to do stuff, which is turning out amazing when it comes to working. But when it comes to hobby stuff, I'm just having to go on vibes this year. It's got to be, I got to feel like doing it. And so the best way to set myself up for success is to make sure I rest enough and I just do things in small batches and I don't try to set heavy goals for myself. So the first few months this year are probably going to be pretty light on goals. I also have other hobbies that I want to do more. I have a bunch of Lego sets to put together. I have tubs of woobles to put together and crochet. I bought this little granny square kind of thing that looks like the color cube set, but it's granny squares. I would like to start getting into stuff like that. Ton of video games to play, stuff like that. I mean, you saw in my tracking, it's not just coloring. But again, I don't want to set goals on myself, at least not right now, because I know what I'll do and I'll push back against those goals and I just won't do them. So this is kind of along the lines of what I'm thinking for 2025. If I have set goals for the year, I'll probably share them in the 2024 to review, but I'm just kind of giving you guys an overview. My goals, I'm going to put, I think here, I'm going to put goals here, and then we'll highlight them based on how I did for the month. So like, again, kind of a red, yellow, green. Did I do okay? Did I not do okay? Stuff like that. So you'll probably see my goals here. And then, like I said, the habits I'm tracking are going to be probably primarily nutrition related, activity related. Right now I'm working with a nutritionist where just right now we are easing into things. So I'm trying to do like 1 fruit, 1 vegetable per day. 5 minutes on the treadmill a day, or 7 minutes is what I'm doing, just long enough to loosen up my muscles. And you would be surprised how hard it is to get myself on that treadmill for 7 minutes every day. So I've been trying to do it for the past month and it has not been very successful. I've managed 2 or 3 times a week, but so that's what my habits are going to be. There might be a month or 2 where I want to color every day or something like that. So that'll all go in like my habit trackers back here. I also have little monthly trackers if I want them and things like that. So really, I'm not setting any huge coloring goals this year. I want to use more of probably all my Ranger, like the ink. I can't think of the name of it. I'd like to use more stuff like ink, and I bet all my ink's dried out because I haven't used it in a long time. Continue using watercolor. I'd like to watercolor actual pictures more. Um, I used colored pencils quite a bit last year. I would like to continue doing that this year. There are a lot of things that I want to do, but I don't necessarily want to set goals on them yet because for me, that is not working right now. Like I had a point system last year, the year before, where if I was productive, I earned points towards purchasing more books and stuff. I like that system, but right now, if I tell myself I'm going to do something, my body will do everything to make sure that I don't actually do it unless it wants to do it. And I've just been very moody. And like I said, I think the change, as they call it, might be finally upon me, because I can't figure out what else could be causing all this. So yeah, I am trying to give myself, I think honestly for a lot of us, unless you really thrive on goals and productivity and stuff, I will say just as a kind of wrap up message that for what we've all kind of been through the last 4 years, the last, I don't know, 8 years, however you want to look at it, um, I noticed in the videos that I watched, I didn't see a lot of people talking about specific goal setting, and maybe it's just because I don't follow the planner groups like as continuously as I do other groups, but I didn't see a lot of goal setting and a lot of huge productivity goals for the year. And there's nothing wrong with doing that if that's how you get things done and that's how you thrive. I am proud of you. Like these people that can goal plan for the year and have huge goals that they can work on each month and have got that down to a science, like, oh, I envy you. Like, I wish. I try to do that and it just all falls apart so quickly. I'm just not a huge, especially long-term goal setting person. My life does not adhere to that because my life is rather chaotic. And hey, it's instead of trying to fight against the grain, I'm taking this year, this is going to be the year that I'm that's vibes. Like instead of fighting against the grain, this is kind of going to be the year of acceptance, of accepting what my limits are, not beating myself up for not doing more videos or more coloring or doing stuff when I'm just sitting there resting. Um, it's just going to be going on vibes and what I feel like doing. And there may be months in here where I decide I don't want to do the stickers. I just want to write for the month. I don't even want to do the washi tape. And the cool thing is this planner is set up so that I don't necessarily have to use like all my stickers and washi tape. If I just only have enough energy to write in stuff, I can do that if I need to. But the bigger key is accepting what I can and can't do and not trying to force myself to do too much. It's okay. Like I said, this is what's working for me. This may not be what everybody else needs. Challenging yourself is a little different. Like the getting on the treadmill 5 to 7 minutes. Treadmill. I keep saying treadmill. It's an elliptical. Get on the elliptical or the bike 5 to 7 minutes a day. It does help, and it is something I need to challenge myself to do. That's a 5 minute, 7 minute activity. I can challenge myself to do that, and my body's just going to have to get over it because it does see the benefits of that. And as far as I know, I don't get much pushback when I actually do that every day. It's just me getting up to do it. The one fruit, one vegetable a day, that's a bit of a challenge because I have gastroparesis, I have slow digestion, and because of that, it is really advised that I don't eat raw fruits and vegetables. I love raw fruits and vegetables. I love raw apples with peanut butter. I love raw bell peppers in a dip or in hummus. I love like raw veggies and raw fruits, but because it can cause my digestion to slow so much because of the fiber, because of how much it has to work to digest, my challenge is not necessarily the fruit and vegetable, but eating those in a way that is giving my body what it needs, which means boiling the vegetables. Steaming can help some, but it doesn't take as much of the fiber out. Blending the fruits, just anything I can do to make things easier to digest. That's where the challenge comes in. So it's okay to challenge myself, but challenge myself by baby steps. Don't tell myself, okay, I'm coloring 5 pages this month and this and that. Like the Instagram posts, like the tags, there may be a month I don't post anything to it, just because that's the way things are going. And it sucks because it's not that I don't want to do those things, I just don't have the energy. But anyway, in saying all that, I will also say in terms of the channel, not much is changing this year. I did note last year I'll probably be a little more unfiltered, I guess. Let's just put it that way. I'm not going to be, I'll probably be a bit more controversial. I don't know if a lot of people liked what I had to say in that last video. I mean, I got a lot of positive comments, not the last video, the one before that, where I talked a little bit about politics and stuff. A lot of people did. I got a lot of positive feedback on that, and I appreciate that. In terms of my videos themselves, they're not going to change really. I just might be a little more chatty, a little more controversial. I would like to, I know this video is not doing it, but I would like to figure out ways to make some of my videos shorter. I did not get all the way through my coloring book collection last year, so I'm trying to decide if I just want to go ahead and finish it out this year and then do like my top 10 cat coloring books or something like that after that, for the rest of the year before like I restart it for next year or something. But like not much will be changing. You might get fewer videos to start, but I go through cycles. Anybody that's been around for a while knows, like, I took a bit of a break in November and December. I might be a little more, I was a lot more consistent last year. That is one thing I will say. Previous years, I would post and then take a month off, like once a quarter or once every 3 or 4 months, and then post a bunch of videos and take a break, then post a bunch of and it was like a cycle, right? Like last year I did a lot better with that. I think I rode those waves of not doing as much a little better, so you got a little more consistency from me until like the end of the year where it just all completely fell off the wagon. So I'm proud of myself for that. But yeah, just pretty much run of the mill, some things. There is, the cool thing about coloring right now is there's a big coloring community building on TikTok and on other social media where people are embracing markers, which I love. Finally, markers are getting their due after all these years. No, I know markers have been becoming more popular, and I'm happy to see it, but I'm seeing some really cool things where they're coloring, and a lot of people in those communities are creating like patterns. They're creating textures like in quilts and stuff, kind of like I did in that Joshua Dunbar picture. They're blending more with markers. That I've seen a lot of recently, and I love that. I see a lot of people in that community doing different things with their coloring, and I love that. Like, I think there's room for all of us. The field feels kind of, I mean, it feels kind of saturated right now, which is kind of like why I'm like, if you don't like what I do, I'm sure just throw a rock in the pond and one of those water drops will will be what you're looking for. I mean, there's plenty of us out there. But I would like to learn some things from, like, in terms of patterns and creating texture in pictures. I think that would be a good focus for the year, and I'm going to make a note of it. And yeah, so I guess I'm not going to show you the full week of January. What I'll probably do on my planner is like show you the weeks on my community page or something like that if I think they're noteworthy. Just show you how it's going. But yeah, for January we've got our 2 tags. So if we're going to just talk about January specifically to round this out, I've probably said that like 20 times. We've got our 2 hashtags to kick off. I have some buddy colors to finish up for the month. And then obviously want to color in, I would like to do a Camellia Angel Cova book this month, Joshua Dunbar, Alexandra Franzese. I really, really, really want to color this page out of the Whimsy Girls World of Pets, the very first one with all the cats. But I don't know if we'll get to that one this month. I don't know. Like if I really want to do it like with pencil and stuff like that, that is something I would really like to do this month, but we'll see. Sugar Sweet, I'd like to cut. I did color 2 new books, untouched books last month, so I would like to continue that. Yeah, so kind of what I'm doing for January. For this month in terms of videos, we will have probably a 2024 year in review and official like 2025 goals. I'm just kind of brainstorming here. I'll have one of those, like 2024 favorites, and we're just going to merge them all into one. I'm not going to do my top 10 favorite coloring mediums and then my top 10 favorite books and my top 10 favorite pages. No, we're just going to do it all in one video, like my 2024 favorites, and that'll be that. I just don't have time, guys. I wish I did. I'd probably get a lot more views and a lot more subscribers if I space that stuff out. But that's just not how I'm built. So we'll have that this month. We will also have my supply haul from Christmas and November, because I do have quite a few things to show you. And then I'll probably have another color and chat, at least one more. Probably some demos this month. I do have a book to show you that I got from an artist that's really cool. I do want to show you guys that probably this weekend. And yeah, we'll probably demo a couple things maybe for our hashtags for the month. And that's, oh, and my room tour, which is either going to be this month or next month. It just depends. We've got a lot of videos this month. And my Castle Art pencil review, my Castle Art classic pencil review, which needs to happen. So I've got quite a bit to work on this month. That's why I was saying don't anticipate anything too different, but just keep in mind if I don't post for a week or two, it is likely just due to fatigue and just trying to work through the various issues and symptoms I'm having health-wise. But anyway, hope this is helpful. This was just kind of a weird combo and also a really long video, so but that's okay. Like I said, I will be back Friday or Saturday, we'll say this weekend, with the new book flip that I want to show you guys. We might color a little bit out of that too, because I want to show you how that works, and I want to see how it works because it's different. It's in how it's designed, and I really dig it. And yeah, that's about as far as we're gonna go, and then we'll kind of look and see how the planner is looking for this week and next week, and hopefully next week maybe we can move on to the 2024 and review stuff. So all right. So completed pages, WIPs, hashtags, planner. I think I'm about as caught up as I can be. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this again. If I'm repeating myself, you can tell it's been a while since I've done a video because other than the color and chat, because I feel awkward and weird. But I hope you guys, I think this is going to be a year, and this is what I was saying earlier, where we need to give ourselves a lot of grace. I think it's going to be a tough year. I think it's going to be another tough year, just based on what's going on in the world and the economy and bills and like bills to pay, things like rent, and just I think it's going to be another tough year. I'm not seeing anything that makes me think, oh yeah, this year's going to be so different. I hope it is. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. But I think this year, you know, if you haven't set goals for the year and you're like stressed out about it or whatever, just give yourself a little grace, give yourself a little time. I think trying to be kind to each other and listen, don't judge, and being kind to ourselves is kind of how I think the year will be the most tolerable for a lot of us. So anyway, I will be back later on this week, and like I said, if, well, you're at the end of the video, there are timestamps again if you want to hop around. Other than that, I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.